Morning, I'll take you through the key global cues today. Well, the Asian stocks had a steady start on Wednesday after US shares edged up to a record on economic optimism and signs that vaccines can counter a highly infectious COVID strain. Speaking about the US markets, well, the Wall Street closed little changed despite strong readings for home prices and consumer confidence. Technology and retail companies rose while financials underperformed, even after some of the largest Wall Street banks boosted dividend payouts to their shareholders. The US Conference Board on Tuesday said its consumer confidence index leapt to 127.3 this month from 120 in May, hitting its highest level since just before the pandemic took hold in March 2020. Moderna Inc. jumped 5.2% to a record high after the drug maker's COVID-19 vaccine showed promise in a lab study against the Delta variant, while Morgan Stanley jumped 3.4% after it doubled its dividend to 70 cents per share in the third quarter. The yield on the 10-year Treasury was little changed at 1.47%. Dow was up nearly very slightly in trade at 34,292 levels, while the S&P was up slightly, as well as the Nasdaq was up close to around 0.2% in trade. Speaking about the European markets, well, the European shares ended higher on Tuesday after data showed economic sentiment improved sharply in June, while Adidas lifted the German index with a share buyback plan. Eurozone economic sentiment rallied to a 21-year high in June as further reopening boosted optimism, according to the European Commission's monthly sentiment survey. Adidas rose 2.5% to a record high after the sportswear maker said it will launch a new share buyback program worth up to 550 million euros. DAX was up close to around 0.9% in trade, while CAC was up just around 0.2% in trade. FTSE was up a similar level, around 0.2% in trade. Well, if speaking about the oil prices, the WTI crude rose 0.7% to $73.42 a barrel, and oil has climbed back above $73 a barrel. OPEC plus ministers are divided ahead of a key meeting later this week on production policy, and of course the oil prices have also been fluctuating. What we need to watch out for with the new COVID strain, the Delta variant, will it impact demand heavily for oil? And yes, that probably is expected, may have some amount of bearing on the oil prices. However, speaking about the gold prices, well, the gold futures fell 1.1% to $1,761 an ounce.